Hi guys, this will be a commentary video for Six Samurais. I just wanted to show you guys how the deck can flow without using the Six Samurai United in my main deck, and as well as using the Exterio in my main deck as well. I'm always excited to play a new tech in my Six Samurai deck, and Six Samurai is one of those decks that I just really want to try because how is it in Tengu Plan format? So if Six Samurais was once the dominant deck because 3 gateways was a thing, being able to spam out Keyzons like crazy was a thing in the past, but how is it in Tengu Plant format where there's Xyz and two less Sheen Smoke Signal? So we're gonna start the game against Agents here on the left. So I think he wins the die roll or I win the die roll. I'm not entirely sure. Let's find out. Looks like I roll a 9 here, and he rolls less. I think. Yeah, he rolls 8. So it looks like I'm gonna be going first. So let's see what happens here. Most likely, since I'm playing the Giant Rat version, I'm going to do a T set. If I don't have the Giant Rat, then most likely I'm going to be playing the first turn Xian, which is going to be unlikely. Looks like I just set a Giant Rat in the face-down defense position. Either that or I bricked. I'm not entirely sure. And it looks like he just passes without doing anything, which is really strange to me. So the Upstart Goblin was, even though I was able to resolve it, didn't see me any closer to being able to kill him. So I flip over the Giant Rat here and I attack directly for 14 here. And it looks like I drew a second Giant Rat, so I'm going to set it. And then he's going to pass the turn back to him. If he does summon a Tour Guide here to beat over my Rat, I do have a Grand Mole in my deck, so I can just flip it over and kill it. Doing these plays are always kind of risky because if I attack directly with the Giant Rat here, then it means that he can summon, he can activate Dark Hole, and then pretty much get a 2-for-1. But I don't mind because they've already done the damage of 2,800 total between the two. So maybe I shouldn't have flipped the second one. Maybe I should have just set it, but I don't know. So now he can actually steal my Giant Rat by dropping a level 4 from his hand. But here I'm going to summon the Effect Veiler here to try to go into a Trishula, and then try to force him to use that Herald of Orange Light from his hand. And this forces me to lose 3 cards to his 2, but that's fine because now his Archlord Christia is in the graveyard. I can steal his Christia using the Machina Reborn here, so the Christia is going to give me inherent value, or the Christia is going to give me hidden value. So I'm thinking here he could steal the Christia by dropping the Hyperion from his hand and stealing it. And he says I don't have the Hyperion to steal the Christia back. So now I have some of the keys on here. And now with the keys on, I can at least run over the... looks like I walk into the Treacherous Trap hole here. The Christia is going to go on top of his deck. And so the summon of the keys on seems like a misplay from this position. So... he's getting a lot of 2-for-1s here, so I'm pretty much top decking. He has a large hand size, but not sure what he's going to do now. He did draw the Christia in his hand, so now he has to figure out a way to pretty much get the Christia back on board. So he's going to use the Machina Reborn here and sacrifice his own Tragodia to sacrifice for the Christia. Luckily for me, I have the Grand Mole to pretty much put the Christia back in his hand, so that he has to find a way to put the Christia, bring down the Christia again. So even though I'm losing a lot of advantage, I'm somehow able to come back because of all this. So I set the Double-Edged Sword technique. He MSTs in the end phase. Not much interesting things are going on between these games. We're just drawing and passing, doing little board advantage clears, and that's it. It looks like I have a 4-card in hand to his 3. So somehow I'm able to gain the advantage even though I've lost a lot of 2-for-1s. So I attack for 18 here. Hopefully he doesn't have a Gores, and he does not. So... I set another back row here. Most likely it's a warning. I thought about not summoning the keys on. It's just setting the warning so that if he does summon a monster, then I get his warning. So he summons the Earth here. He's most likely going to get his engine finally going off. He searches for the Venus here, and now he's able to take my monster and Synchro Summon with it. And with the level 6 Synchro here, he's going to be able to do some damage. And he summons an Orient Dragon. So it looks like he doesn't play Gaia the Force of the Earth. Which is a shame because I really like Gaia the Force of the Earth in Tengu Plant format, unironically, because Goyo Guardian is now gone, and because he's gone, there's very little level 6 Synchros that can beat over a Stardust, that can beat over a Gravekeeper Spy of that nature with the Necro value up. With the 2,500 defense is really hard, so I really encourage you guys to play Gaia the First of the Earth as level 6. So it looks like I had the Smoke Signal here. I spell summon the monster the Elder, and then I'm able to finally make a Sheehan. And if he had made the Guy of the Force of the Earth, my Sheehan would not be able to run over the Orient Dragon. But now that he brought it out, a 2300 monster, then it's easier for me to deal with. So he's going to be special summoning the BLS here. I'm going to activate the warning that I've been holding for the Gores or for any sort of monster that he brings in. I know he has a Christian hand, so he has to have the 4 fairies. He's going to summon the Venus here, and I don't mind the Venus bringing down the Gachi because in that event, I do have the Grand Mole to just bounce back the Gachi, and then the Gachi would just go back to his hand. I don't mind him, walling off with that because he wastes his summon here. So not the only thing I have to worry about is him top decking an Honest, because those are all cards that he searched for on the board except for the Chaos Sorcerer. So I'm pretty sure he does not have the Honest because he would have just used it in an earlier turn for his mystery. So I bounce back the Gachi, and then I attack over the Venus here. And I'm pretty sure he does not have the Honest because his one card is definitely Honest. His one card is definitely the Christia that I put back to his hand with the Grand Mole. So I set a back row here, hoping that he doesn't draw a Hyperion. I don't think that back row is real. I activate... Oh, it is real. Okay, never mind. So he has the 4 fairies here. I activate the Solemn Judgment to negate it. So now all I have to do now is just show the Grand Mole and then attack him directly, and then that's game. So unless he plans on using Veiler in his hand, he could just deal with it. But instead, he's going to just concede here. So going to game 2 and 3, I'm going to side in the Imperial Iron Wall. The Imperial Iron Wall is going to be able to shut off all his BLS, his Chaos Sorcerer line, his Hyperion lines, all of that nature. So now he has to rely on cards that pretty much shut off my back rows, such as Decree, MST, all that stuff. But I know that my game plan for game 2 and 3 is always going to be floodgating, which is going to revolve around playing the Deturia Beast or Sheehan even to negate the Royal Decree and the MST, so that I could safely keep my monsters alive and not being destroyed by the power monsters out of this deck. I also going to sign in like cards like Black Horn of Heaven too. Those are cards that I can use to pretty much negate the inherent summons of Hyperion and all the cards I've mentioned before, including Tour Guide too. So if they go Tour Guide into a level 3 Fiend monster and they go into Leviathan Dragon, I'm going to use Black Horn of Heaven to stop that as well. So that's my game plan as well. I think I side out all the back row hate because agents don't really like to keep back rows in their deck for some reason. But if they are keeping a large monster size hand, then they're most likely going to have spell and trap removal within those hands rather than traps that can deal with my monsters. So that's kind of my thought process as I'm siding. So now we're going to go into game 2 here. He's going to start the turn. Looks like he draws a pretty decent hand with the Tour Guide, but he doesn't realize that I'm on the Giant Rat version of 6 Samurais, so my Giant Rat can simply just crash into the Leviathan Dragon and then bring out the Grand Mole and then bounce it for a +1. So, but looking at my hand as a flash, then I do see that I'd already hard drew the Grand Mole, so that's going to body the Leviathan Dragon here. So he does have one set here. I'm fully anticipating that set card to be like a back row that deals with my back row, so like MST and Decree. So I pretty much set one back row to see if it's an MST or not. If it is, then whatever. This card's gone. So let's see what he has here. It doesn't look like it's an end phase MST. Doesn't look like it's an end phase Decree. So it might be a treacherous trap hole here that can deal with my monsters, but we'll find out here. So he's gonna make the Leviathan Dragon again. He does have 3 darks in the graveyard, which is weird because Dark Arm is not commonly seen in this format. But whatever. He's going to be attacking directly for 2,500 life points, and then I'm going to take it here. I'm going to contemplate my moves here, wondering what that set is what that set is. But it's most likely going to be a rinse and repeat here, where I summon the Grand Mole and then bounce back the Leviathan Dragon, generating me another +1 on the play. With no back rows to defend me, I'm just going to pass here, and hopefully he doesn't have another monster that can just beat me down with, such as a Venus with the Gachi, for example. So he sets a back row here. Most likely it's a Shine Ball, hoping that I leave it alone. Because if I leave it alone, he can just flip the Shine Ball, summon another Shine Ball, and then, or even a Mystery of the Earth to be able to go into Gachi. So this is a really unfortunate play for me, but fortunately for me, I was able to bait out the Veiler here. Normal summon the Kageki to special summon the Kizan from my hand. Baits out the Veiler because the Kizan can just special summon themselves. The Dojo is able to be sent off to the graveyard because I did summon 2 samurais here, and then with the dojo, I'm able to bring out the Kagamusha, and then now I can make the Shien here. But I don't know what the set card is here, so I'm trying to bait it out a Snowman Eater here, which is why I did the order like this. So I destroy over the Sangan, and it looks like he searches a Earth, I believe. I'm not entirely sure what he searched for. Maybe it can't be a tour guide because whatever he summons now, from here on out, he's going to have to deal with the Grand Mole. So I'm going to have Black Horn of Heaven here, which I did side deck, which is a really good side deck against agents because they're very monster heavy. And I'm very surprised that the set card that he has set is not doing anything in this position. But even if it did anything, I do have the Shien here to negate whatever it could be that he's trying to hold back on the set here. So not entirely sure what it is. So he activates Monster Reborn to try to get a monster out, and then I just negate with the Shien. I'm not sure why I negate with Shien, because if he gets a level 3 monster here with any of my monsters and synchro summons in the Catastor, that's not an issue for me because Shien can just run over the monster. So it looks like he does have the Hyperion here, and then he special summons it after he activates Monster Reborn. So yeah, not entirely sure why he decided to do this order. If he had the Hyperion, he should have just used it right away. And then attack over my Keyzon and then pop the Shien in main phase 2, and then activate Monster Reborn or hold it to revive my own Shien here. So definitely a misplay on his part. Hopefully he's watching this so that he knows that he could hold the Monster Reborn for a better move on that one. So he did definitely misplayed here. Looks like I draw into a Effect Veiler, so I do have to find a way to deal with Hyperion without resolving my my double-edged sword technique because I don't have it. But if I did draw into it, I can use my Grand Mole to bounce back the Hyperion and then set the double-edged sword technique, but it doesn't look like I have it. Yeah, so I don't know if I have a Veiler in my hand because if I had the Veiler, I can make a monster here. So it looks like I'm going to go into the Catastor line here. Luckily for me, I do have the Squire that I hard drew, so I can just deal with the it's hard normal summon here. So yeah. Yeah, so it looks like I used a Monster Reborn, I think, to revive the Keyzon, and then I was able to normal summon the Squire to do this play here. So he's going to normal summon the Venus here, and he's going to bring out the 2 Shine Balls, and then the 2 Shine Balls going to make him the Gachi Gachi. But even this is a good position for me because I don't have to normal summon my Grand Mole to kill the Gachi Gachi, but I'm going to do it anyways so that I can just get him off the board, and then I'm going to attack and then set the back row. I'm gonna flip over the Iron Wall here, so now he can't special summon his Hyperion or the BLS. So I'm feeling really good here. It doesn't look like he has the MST or anything that could just deal with this current board here. So he's gonna have to. Oh, it looks like he already has Heavy Storm. So he's trying to fish for a Hyperion here or a BLS or anything to deal with the board here. So I'm gonna attack with the Giant Rat here, so because that actually does damage. He's gonna draw for turn here, and it looks like he drews the Dark Hole. And now he's going to summon the Venus to attack me for 16. So now I'm on the back foot again, losing all my monsters out. I drew into Asceticism. I'm pretty much going to do the same play, except I'm not going to use the Grand Mole here because I'm just going to leave it out there. Because if I use the Grand Mole to attack it, he's just going to summon the Venus and attack my life point directly. I'd rather just have the Grand Mole here so that if he doesn't draw any other monsters, then the Venus is just going to bounce with the Grand Mole. And I'm just going to sit there. Okay, so yeah, at this point, he's looking at his extra deck. I'm fearing that he has mind control, but it looks like he just has the Herald. So he's going to make the Catastor. I say, Catastor is an optional effect, and Grand Mole is also optional, and your turn... Or no, Catastor is a mandatory effect, and Grand Mole is a optional effect. So optional effect is always going to be Chain Link 2, and so I'm going to bounce Grand Mole here, and then his Catastor is going to be bounced. I summon the Keyzon here, attack directly, and he does draw the Hyperion, so now he's going to resolve his Heavy Storm that he's been keeping in his hand, and it looks like it was a Lance that was set the entire time, so his Heavy Storm pretty much gave him a -1 here, but at least he was able to bring out Hyperion, and now he's going to pop my monster here. So pretty bad position for me. I have the Veiler here to stop the effective Hyperion because I want my life points, because the life points is going to help me stay in the game here. I have the option to summon the Grand Mole to bounce it, and then I have to set the back row. So if he does bring out the Hyperion by banishing the Earth here, then I probably have a back row to deal with it. So we'll see what happens here. One of the things I really love about Grand Mole is that my traps that need my monsters to be summoned is it needs to be there so that when they summon the monster, I can just bottomless it here. So I do have the double-edged sword technique here. So I was hoping that he didn't have 4 fairies, but he does have 4 fairies. to suppress summon the Christia, and so he takes the game with the two of the best boss monsters in Tengu plant format, which is Christia and Hyperion. So now game 3 is going to start here. Pretty much now I'm able to go first. Hopefully I don't brick. One of the weaknesses of samurais is that you do brick sometimes, and I really hate that about samurais. But what are you going to do? It is the inherent flaw of the deck, and there's nothing I can do about it. Even if I play 3 upstart goblins to try to make the deck more consistent, it doesn't pan out very well for 6 samurais. Maybe the idea of the 6 samurai deck is just to win the games where you could, and then lose the games where you can't win at all. So yeah, I think that's the game plan for 6 samurais. So game 3, I'm thinking of siding the trap dust shoot into the from the side deck into the main, because dust shoot's really good against agents because they keep a large hand size. But I'm not too sure how good it is now that people know how my game plan is. But I'm still gonna side the dust shoot in. It looks like I have a Gores that I'm signing into as well, because it's a really good card for a comeback against the monster heavy decks that they try to put. Fully also anticipating the Puppet Plant from coming down, but I don't think I have much side deck against Puppet Plant except for Rivalry of the Warlords. So hopefully that trap card comes to my hand so that I can just flip it, and then he can't Puppet Plant my guy. Well, they could, but it wouldn't do anything. So it looks like I'm going to do a T set here, most likely a Giant Rat set with a Warning or a Bottomless. I'm not entirely sure. Maybe even double-edged sword technique, because if he destroys the Giant Rat here, then I can get the Elder or the Kagamusha. But it looks like it was a Bottomless. If I do get if it was a double-edged sword technique, I can make 2 level 5 Synchros on my following turn. So he calls priority on the Venus to get the 1 Shine Ball. Now his tour guide has a target, so I flip over the Giant Rat here and I attack over the ball. Looks like I drew another double Giant Rat hand. So yeah, that's one of the downsides of playing the Giant Rat version of this. But it's not too bad. So his tour guide's going to come down here, and if he summons a Leviathan Dragon and crashes or attacks over my Giant Rat, I'm definitely going to bring out Grand Mole here. So yeah, I think he knows that. But he's going to do the play where he brings out the Venus, so he gets all the Shine Balls out of his deck. And also he has a Dark and Light in the graveyard, which is really scary here. So if he brings out BLS, it's pretty much bad for me. Looks like he draws into a Mystic Shine Ball here, so which is really unfortunate. This is why I don't play agents, because of this situation. So now he has a Levier in attack position and an agent in the attack position, and so that this Grand Mole is going to be hitting pretty hard here. So he's going to attack with the Venus here, attack over my Rat. I'm going to special summon the Grand Mole here, and now my Grand Mole is going to be pretty deadly here. I don't know why I didn't get it. Oh, it looks like I already drew the Grand Mole. Never mind. So that's why I'm doing all these weird plays. So my Giant Rat's going to go into the Kagamusha, and then I'm going to leave out with the Kagamusha out there. So I can make a level 6 Synchro here, like Bryanak, but I don't think that's good here. I could go into the Exterio line. It looks like I drew into the Earth Hex Fusion as well, but it looks like I'm going to normal summon, and then now I can just send the Dojo off to make a Squire, and then I can make a Trishula here. I don't think that's good though. So it looks like I special summon the Kizan here, and I normal summon the Grand Mole. So yeah, Grand Mole's putting in a lot of work here, and the Rat was able to establish the 6 Samurai monsters, so that I can just special the Kizan, normal the Grand Mole. So yeah, another point for Grand Mole. Another point for Giant Rat in this position. So I'm gonna bounce back the Gachi here. I'm gonna use the Kizan here to attack over the. It looks like I attacked with the Rat here. So yeah. Looks like going to Elder. So I'm putting 2 counters here, and now I have 2 counters. So if I make a Shein here, I can pop it off for the Spirit of the 6 Samurai, but I don't play it. So now my Kizan gets a bump to 2100 attack, so I can beat over the Levier so he can't revive his guys. So it looks like it's just lunchtime for my 6 Samurais. So I'm beating over all his monsters, and my board looks pretty good. So I can make a Naturia Beast here. So now he has to really find a way to deal with this board, because the Cherry Beast is going to lock out all his spells. My Sheen's going to knock out the traps, and my back row is going to hopefully deal with the big monsters that he brings out. So he does have 1 Hyperion, it looks like, in his hand. So, but he only has 1 Venus. So if I can deal with this Hyperion, then it's games for me. So it looks like he drew all his Hyperions. Oh no! So yeah, if he had more, if he had Earth, that would have been a different game, because if he had Earth, he would have searched for Venus, and then he would have 2 Hyperion targets. both the Hyperions in his hand would have been able to deal with his my board. One Hyperion can deal with both the Sheehan and the Cherry Beast, so he bodies both those monsters. So I'm glad that I had the back row, because if I didn't have that back row, it would have been GG's for me. But lucky for me, he also didn't have the Agent of Earth. Otherwise, I would have had to deal with double Hyperion there. But yeah, anyways, that was the gameplay video against agents. I'm going to have another gameplay video on the next segment of this video. So if you guys want to watch that, then check it out. It's going to be against, I believe it was against Machina Gadget. So yeah, stay tuned for that one. All right, this is going to be another gameplay video against the Machina Gadget deck. I'm on the right side here playing 6 Samurais with my weird text with a Giant Rat. And I'm being played against the Machina Gadgets. So this Machina Gadget's on Solidarity and Ultimate Offering, so just an FYI, so you guys can fully anticipate what kind of matchup it is without being surprised by it. So it looks like he is most likely going to go first, and going first with Gadgets is always a good advantage because you can just set all those back rows and just protect all your Gadgets and get a +1 right away. So let's see what happens here. No, it looks like I win the die roll because it looks like I'm doing my moves first. So judging by the hand, it looks like I bricked. But maybe not. No, I actually did not brick. Cool. So looks like I'm going to the asceticism play, bring out the Kagamusha, and now I can bring out the Sheehan here. Sadly for me, in this position, if I had the Spirit of the 6 Samurai, I would have been able to equip them, and not will have to worry about any sort of tour guide play. I don't know what I'm playing against, so but in this position, post commentary, I would have been able to bring out a Spirit of the 6 Samurai and then stop his Machina Fortress from crashing into my my Sheehan here. So it looks like he summons the gear frame here. He's going to search, and he's going to search for the fortress here. So, yep. And now he can summon the fortress here, crash into the Sheehan. If I don't have a back row that can respond to this appropriately, then I'm going to lose a lot of cards here. So I'm going to force negate the back row because it is a card that I can want to keep. And had I had the Spirit of the 6 Samurai, this Smashing Ground would have just killed this Spirit of the 6 here. But now he activates the duality here, and now he's going to get either the limit removal, or the ultimate offering here. So at the very least here, the dojo is going to get me a level 3 Elder of the 6 Samurai, and if I do have the Kagamusha, I can make another level 5 synchro monster. All right, so he's going to be setting 2 back rows here. It's pretty scary. The back row that I have set was a card that deals with a summon, so I don't have a way to deal with the back row. So hopefully those back rows aren't real. Otherwise, I'm going to be in for a rude awakening. So yeah, maybe my game plan here is probably going to make a Barkion here, and the Barkion is going to help me stall out against the trap cards. With 4 counters, I'm able to summon the Kizan here, and hopefully he doesn't have a warning either, because the warning is going to be pretty deadly for me here. So let's see what happens here. So hopefully the Barkion sticks, so I can attack over the monster, and it does stick, and then I can attack over the monster. Unlucky for me, he does have a way to bring out the fortress, because all he has to do is summon a Gadget or another gear frame, and now he has the fortress online. And the fortress, hopefully that back row is going to do something, because it's going to be able to deal with the monster. It looks like I do have the warning, and he does have the Dark Bribe. Okay, so the Dark Bribe was the card that he had set, and we know that now that I'm in a really bad position, I can't negate a counterplay trap card. A counter spell speed 3 with the Barkion, so unfortunate for me, the Dark Bribe was able to clutch out the board position for him. So now I'm back on the back foot. It looks like I drew into a Kagamusha with the Asceticism, so I could make a Catastrophe here. Hopefully that back row isn't anything real, so let's see what happens here. Yeah, we're doing life point calculations because the calculator busted out on me, I guess. Okay, so I'm at 6,000 and he's at 41, I believe. I'm not entirely sure what's going on here. 42, never mind. Oh, so he's at 41 to my 42. So now I have to find a way to take out the fortress. Otherwise, that thing's going to take me out. So Catastrophe is probably going to be the game plan here. It looks like I do a 3 set. So he's going to attack the Giant Rat here. I'm going to get the Grand Mole. Yeah, it looks like I go into Giant Rat. Never mind. So the Giant Rat floats into another Giant Rat, and then it looks like I'm not going to go for the Grand Mole line because I'm afraid of the back row, because that back row is going to be able to deal with my monster. So let's see what happens here. I put the monster in defense position. I summon the Grand Mole, attack into the D prison, and I lose it. And then I just pass the turn here with nothing with... yeah, I think I put the monster defense mode to play around the Mirror Force because now he has to attack over it. I'm going to flip with the the double assert technique, and now I can make a Trishula here in this position because I want to be able to deal with his hand and as well as his back row here. So he put him basically on top deck mode to where Trishula is the strongest monster. He's gonna have to crash the Trishula into the for the fortress. So yeah, I'm contemplating leaving the fortress out there, but I don't want him to top deck into a gadget and then make a bunch of utopias. So banish his limiter removal that he had in his hand. So it looks like he drew into it after the duality. So the top deck here, let's see what it is. He's going to attack into the Trishula, taking 200 damage, and then he summons the gadget here to get his gadget line. So good thing I took out the ultimate offering here in this position. Okay, so I'm in a good position here. Now I'm going to go 3 cards to his 2. All I have to do is draw monsters to deal with everything. So now I draw into the Giant Rat and attack over his monster. He draws into the Gear Frame, which is a really good top deck for him. So it looks like this is his 3rd Gear Frame. So he was able to see his all his Gear Frames in this game. And now his Fortress is going to bring out a monster. Let's see. So he's going to bring out the Gear Frame, the Fortress. He's going to attack over the Giant Rat. My set wasn't anything to worry about. So I take 11 here, and then I'm out of Giant Rats, so I had to go into the Earth Hex Fusion because that's my only monster left, or I can go into a 6 Samurai monster. Knowing that I do have the Earth Hex Fusion in my deck, I don't want to bring out a Kagamusha or anything, so I'm just going to let him kill the monster. So I take the 800 here. Okay, so now I'm in a bad position, so now I have to deal with these 2 monsters without Cyber Dragon. So hopefully that set card is another double assert technique for me to deal with this monster to get me back in the game, but it doesn't look like it is. Even if I make the Catastrophe here, it's not good enough because the Catastrophe is only going to blow up the Machina the Gear Frame, and then the battle is going to go through, and then I'm going to crash the Catastrophe. So yeah, so it looks like I lose the game here. Let's go into game 2 here. My game plan for game 2 is to side deck the Blackhorn Heaven so that his Utopia and his Machina Fortress gets hit by those cards. So that's my game plan. I don't side the Iron Wall because I don't really care for Deep Prisons that much because I can negate it with Xian and Barkion and all the like monsters here. So I drew a really bad hand here. I drew all spells and traps, which is really unfortunate for me. So this is the downside of playing this deck, is drawing a bunch of spells and traps. And so it looks like I have one set here. I think it's a defensive trap. Let's see what he does here. Activates Duality. He searches for, I think he gets the Thunder King Ryle. Yeah, he gets a Thunder King Ryle. So that's going to lock me out of activating the Reinforcement of the Army and Xian Smoke Signal if he summons it. Looks like he summons a Gadget, so he's on the Gadget stun with the Solidarity package. So it looks like he sided out his Solidarity for Thunder King Ryle, if I had to guess. Okay, so I draw for turn here, and now I have to figure out what I want to do. I'm setting another back row. If that's a Pro Storm, that's going to hit me real hard. But we'll see what happens here. So it looks like I drew into another Spell and Trap with no other monsters. No Giant Rats to be seen. No Elder, because if I had Elder, I would have been able to Asceticism and go into a Xian. But it is not anything that I can use. If that back row is a Solemn Warning, it didn't matter anyways, because my Xian can just get destroyed. So he's now going to summon the Thunder King Ryo to lock out my Xian summon. And I do have the MST in the set. It was a D prison. And so now hoping that I can draw into something here. And I still don't draw a monster. So for 3 turns here, I was unable to draw a monster. He MSTs my MST, which is pretty good. Pretty much baits out the back row. Summons the Fortress. And I'm pretty sure, I think this is a game here because now he has enough damage to kill me. I think, because I didn't use Warning. He attacked me for 13. No, I don't think it's game. No, it is game. Okay, yeah, he's lost. Yeah, so that's a deck for you. Sometimes you just lose because you just can't draw a single monster. The next turn I would have drawn a Kagamusha and I was able to pop off, but unfortunately for me, he does. Yeah, looks like he shows me what he sides. It does look like he sides the Kinetic Soldier, so it looks like he was fully prepared to play against the 6 Samurai matchup, but as well as the Hero Beat matchup. Kinetic Soldier actually seems like a good side deck, so after watching this video, it's actually really good against Hero Beat as well. So since I am playing the Giant Rat engine, I guess I could side deck into Kinetic Soldier so that the Giant Rat can go into it and then beat over the Alias. So always a nice little tech to be able to summon a Kinetic Soldier and then beat over an Alias. Why didn't I think of that? I don't know why I didn't think of that earlier. So yeah. Maybe going forward, if you guys are watching this the gameplay video, my dedicated 6 Samurai players, to definitely consider side decking Kinetic Soldier because it can do really well against Hero Beat. It can even beat over the Shining, I think. Let's see. The Shining is 3,200. So at best, or at most. So Kinetic Soldier gets 2,000. So yeah, 3,350 is bigger than 3,200. So yeah. But isn't it better to go into Grand Mole against Shiny? Yeah, it's better to go into Grand Mole. So the Kinetic Soldier would be for the Alias. So yeah, I don't know. Just take it with a grain of salt for the next game. So for my next gameplay video, I'm going to be playing up against a Gravekeeper matchup. So stay tuned for that one. All right, we're gonna have another matchup against Gravekeepers with 6 Samurais, so stay tuned for this one. So the Necro Valley here is gonna be a really good card against me because all my monsters that are synchros are generally gonna be at 2,500 attack. So walling off a spy with the Necro Valley is gonna be the game plan for Gravekeepers. Also, obviously, resolving a Royal Tribute is also really good. But we'll see what happens here. Hopefully, he doesn't have the 2-card combo. So it looks like he was able to get the Necro Valley online. So this is always like the tense moment for me, that if he does resolve the Royal Tribute, he's going to get a lot of value. But funny enough, my deck bricks a lot. So hopefully I did brick in this position, because if he did have the Royal Tribute line, then I'll have a bunch of spell cards and he can't do anything with it. So let's see what happens here. That's always the upside of bricking, is that if I do play against Gravekeepers, if they have the Royal Tribute, then they're not going to hit anything. So hopefully, hopefully he doesn't have the Royal Tribute. Looks like I draw into the double Archetype Goblin, so really good for me. So now I can at least see my engine. He does have a back row, so this is really safe for me. And even though I resolve 2 Upstart Goblin, I still don't have a play. See, I'm telling you guys, this deck's really inconsistent. Don't play it, guys. So it looks like I have the Veiler here, and then I'm able to flip it to negate the Spy here. And now I'm hoping that I have a Samurai that I can summon. He does the Wonder Wand move, and this is really bad for me, because now the Wonder Wand's going to be able to draw him 2 cards, and closer to the Royal Tribute, but I'm hoping he does Royal Tribute me, because I don't have anything that I could send off the grave. It looks like I do have a monster in my hand. It looks like it's an Earth Text Fusion. Looks like I draw Anishi with the Earth Text Fusion. If I have Dojo, I can make a Shi in here. But out of nowhere, he has 3 back row. So it looks like the Wonder Wall was able to see his 3 back row. And now I have to deal with all his monsters. All his back rows now. So if any of those set cards that I have set are like double-edged sword technique, it's not going to matter much. So I'm going to summon the Anishi here. I'm going to get 3 counters across the board here. And then I'm going to send off the Dojo, most likely, to bring out the Squire. And then the Squire is going to be able to break out the Shien here. Hopefully it doesn't have the warning. Hopefully it doesn't have any sort of interruption. Because that's very unlikely, by the way, that he has no interruptions here. But we'll see what happens. Now, if he flips over the Book of Moon here, then it kind of tells me that he doesn't have like a warning. So that kind of gives me a little bit of hope here, that if he does have a warning, that I can summon another monster and then try to make something. Looks like I saw him Judgment the Book of Moon. And if I make the Shien here, I feel like I'm pretty safe. Yeah. So if I make the Shien here, the issue is that if I make the Shien here, it's not going to be enough to run over the face down here. So I do have 4 counters here. I contemplate removing the 2 counters here to give a boost to my Shien, so that if I could attack over a Spy. But if it's not a Spy, then removing the 2 counters is a waste. But let's see what I do here. Actually, I'm going to do the search ability, because if I do the search ability and I special summon a Keyzon or Grandmaster, then it's going to get another 2 Bushido counter, and then I can use the 2 Bushido counter to bump up my Shien and then attack over the Spy. So yeah, that's the play. Search for the Grandmaster. Grandmaster's really good against the warning. I don't think he has it because he used the Book of Moon on my Squire. But then I had to Solemn Judgment the Book of Moon, which is really good for him. I attack over the Assailant, which was a bluff. So really good bluff on him part, but he has to bluff, right? Because it's really good. He draws into a Dark Hole, activates the Upstart Goblin, and then gives me 1,000 life points. And hopefully he doesn't have any way. He looks like he does have a Mind Control in hand. So yeah, so it looks like pretty bad position for me. With the Necro Valley out, the Grandmaster's not going to do anything because he targets a card in the graveyard. And so he's going to bait out my Shien. I'm thinking I'm going to let him resolve the Mind Control because, I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't negate it here. I don't know. Yeah, it's tough. So I'm going to give him the monster, and he can't attack with it, and he activates the Dark Hole. So, yeah, with the Necro Valley out, the Dark Hole gives him value. But I still have the Gateway, so the Gateway is going to be good here. If I summon monsters, I can at least search for stuff. I summon the Earth Text Fusion. Yeah, so this card is really bad if you don't have Naturia Beast. And it's really bad as a top deck, but at least I'm doing damage. So Summon the Assailant here. He's going to attack over the Earth X Fusion. So I'm going to draw for turn here. Now I have to find a way to clear the Recruiter with 1700 defense attack. My Elder is not going to do anything. So I'm not sure what I'm trying to do here. Yeah. My Elder's not going to do much. I could set the Rat here. And if I set the Rat here, then it doesn't do much. So it looks like I'm going to special summon the Elder here with my 2 counters. I'm going to search. Never mind. Don't search. I don't have 2 counters. He's going to deprison my Giant Rat. I now have a monster that doesn't do anything. He can attack over it, summon Descendant. He can do a lot of things here. Attack over my Elder. And he's going to flip over to the Wonder Wand. And he's going to get another +1. So drawing to his trap cards. I don't know why I'm wasting time here. I should just scoop. There's no reason to keep going. Maybe I think that I was going to draw into an MST to kill the Necro Valley and then flip over the double-edged sword technique. So maybe I didn't scoop because of that reason, because I could just search a bunch. So yeah, I guess I have hope in my mind that I draw the MST, and it looks like I didn't draw it. Looks like it's a monster. So thinking about whether I can survive. If he does summon a Descendant, it's going to be bad for me. So I think I stay in this game hoping that I can resolve this double-edged sword technique. Really want to get that MST out of my deck, but it's only at 1. So yeah, I stay in the game. I guess I just stay in the game because I just hope and pray that I do draw into an MST. Doesn't look like he draws into a Descendant to kill my Gateway, because now I'm just going to summon the Kagamusha here. And then now I have 4 counters, and then now I can make a... Well, Barkian's not going to do anything with Necro Valley up, so I have to make some other stuff. He's going to activate Rite of Spirit here. He's going to go into something. I'm just going to scoop because there's no point. I think he didn't have a Descendant face down or in his graveyard. I don't think so. So there was really nothing. So game 2 and 3, my game plan is to side deck the MSTs and the Heavy Storm, because those cards are really good against Gravekeepers. Not so much Heavy Storm because they can Starlight Road me or Solemn Judgment, but I'd rather not get Starlight Roaded. But I still side in the Heavy Storm because what are you going to do? Okay, so game 2, I think I also side deck. What else do I side deck? What do I have in my side deck? I have Dust Shoot, Iron Wall, Gores, Smashing Horn. Yeah, I don't side Smashing Horn. Smashing Horn is only for decks that side deck Thunder King Ryo or have Thunder King Ryo on their deck. I don't think Gravekeepers play Thunder King Ryo on their deck. So it looks like I decided not to side deck the Smashing Horns, even though it sounds good in theory. It hits Warning, it's Solemn Judgment, hits Thunder King Ryo. I mean, maybe that's a mistake to not side deck the Smashing Horn. Let's see here. Yeah, maybe I do side it. We'll see. So now game 2 is I'm gonna go first because I don't want that Roll Tribute to resolve. So let's see what happens here. All right, so hopefully I can not brick and just summon a monster that I can just do stuff with. So I summon the Kageki here. Hopefully he doesn't have Veiler. He doesn't. Cool. And then I can Synchro Summon into the Mighty Sheehan. Oh, yes. Okay. Now the obstacle is running over a Spy with the Necro Valley in defense position. A Spy with the Necro Valley up. So I pass the turn here with 2 back row. Feeling pretty good. If I can negate a spell and trap card, then I'm up. Right now I'm -1 because of the Synchro Summon. I don't think I have double his sword technique. Oh, he sets 4. This is really dangerous territory for me. So him setting 4 is pretty dangerous. I'm going to blind MST here. I don't know why I do this. Maybe because he doesn't have Necro Valley or something. Okay, so I blind MST and I hit his deprison, which is really good for me. So now I just have to deal with 3 back row. So if he wants to use 2 trap cards against Machina, then I guess that's okay. I get a +1. He's going to Veiler in main phase 1 here. I think I try to go into battle phase, and then I just set and pass. So I get a +1 by taking out the Veiler. So if he tries to bait out one of my back row, I can negate it, and then I'll get a +1 again. So yeah, Sheehan does a lot of work on his own. It looks like I let it resolve. So it looks like I don't care about the Solemn Warning because Gravekeepers don't have like big monsters that they can summon and beat over me. So I'm going to save my negate for another reason. He's going to Book a Moon. So if he had the Veiler, then he should have definitely Book a Moon. The Sheehan on my turn because the Veiler was already affecting the Sheehan. Maybe he just didn't have a monster. No, he had a monster. He had a Necro Valley. No, that monster was in his hand because he would have activated last turn. So I guess he was just monster starved. No, he has a Spy. No, the spy would have been set. So it looks like he just had a spy in his hand. So I let the Necro Valley resolve. No, he activated Book of Moon, sorry. So I negated it. So my Nishi's going to be here. I think I have a set Giant Rat here. But I can't banish anything. So I special some the keys on here. So that set card is not going to do anything. So I need to figure out a way to deal with this. It's a spy. There's no XCs that can run over spy because Gem Knight Pearl wasn't out yet in Tengu Plant format. If it was, I'd probably play it. It's really good to run over this position. So now he has a Recruiter defense position. Now I have to figure out how to deal with the top deck Descendant because that Descendant is going to go hard. But I guess I could just stall out. I mean, my monsters can just save themselves. So I'm going to attack over the Recruiter here. If he searches for a Descendant here, I'll be fine. If he searches for Assailant, my Xian can protect itself. So I think I'm in a good position. Yeah, it looks like he searched for the Assailant here. Yeah. So this way he can make a Utopia in main phase 2. So he can force out my negation. Yeah, so his Assailant can attack into a monster like Xian. I can protect the Xian, and then... Oh, he's going to Duality. Never mind. 3 monsters. Oh, unlucky for this guy. So no back row. So his second back row would have been able to resolve under my Xian. So let's see what he does here. Most likely he's going to summon this Assailant here to shift my Xian to defense position. Yep. And then he can attack, and then I'm going to save him by killing one of my 6 Samurais instead. I think I'm going to go for the Nishi because he's weaker. He needs 2 Samurais as well to get the 500 boost, so I'm going to kill him. And plus he's useless under Necro Valley. Okay, so he can't overlay, so I'm pretty in a good spot here. He has to pass, and then my Kizon is not going to be able to do much unless I summon another Samurai. So let's see what happens here. Flip the monster's attack position. Oh, I got Smoke Signal. Okay, so I can summon the Kageki here to boost up my Kizon to 300 to 2100 attack, so I can run over that Assailant. But I still can't run over this monster. Oh, right. This is why I play Guy of the Force of the Earth bait. So this is gonna be good. So I'm gonna Synchro Summon. I think I flip over the rat. No, I don't have the. I'm gonna flip over that. So Guy of the Force of the Earth is gonna put in work here. I'm gonna be able to run over that spy, that pesky little spy in defense position, and then now he has no board because I play Guy of the Force of the Earth, guys. So now he's gonna draw into the spy here. He does have Rite of Spirit, but that's not gonna do much for him because I could just run over that monster anyways, thanks to my good old handy dandy Guy of the Force of the Earth. So yeah, let's see what he does here. I'm gonna draw into mind control, and then I'm just gonna end this game right away. Doesn't matter what it is. So yeah, he's gonna activate Rite of Spirit. I'm gonna let it resolve. I don't care because I can just run over his monster, and then I'm gonna respect his back row like a good opponent. And then I'm gonna take his monster, flip it over so that he can't get the monster. I'm gonna overlay into Utopia, and then now the Guy of the Force of the Earth is gonna be able to attack over the spy, and then I'm gonna attack for 5,000. Oh, he's still alive. Never mind. Draws into warning, doesn't do anything. Yep. Good for me that I did not negate that Rite of Spirit because that Torrential would have been terrible for me. All right, game 3. Let's see what's going to happen now. What's going to happen in game 3? No, we're not going to know until we find out. I think I side out another... Oh, it looks like I sided out double sector. I side out double-edged sword technique, so... that card is going to not be useful against Necro Valley, especially going second, where he can install the Necro Valley first, and I can't do anything about it. So the double sector technique should all be out of my deck. Looks like I sided out the Dust Shoot. What? Why did I side in Dust Shoot against Gravekeeper? That was just incorrect. Maybe I sided in Dust Shoot because of the Wonder Wand. So if he gets a +2 off the Wonder Wand, then no, he gets a +1 off the Wonder Wand. Then I guess in theory he does have the 4-card. He will draw the 4-card hand so that I can Dust Shoot him. But that's still not a good reason because he might have all spells and traps in his hand. No, the Dust Shoot would have get the monster out of his hand that he could search for a Recruiter. So yeah, I guess that's what my thought process was. But I think I set it out now. So he's going to activate the Commandant, search for the Necro Valley as usual. I don't know if he's on 40 cards in his deck because it seems like he's not drawing a lot of traps. In game 2, he didn't draw much traps. Game 1, he didn't draw much traps until he resolved the Wonder Wand. Looks like he's on Malefic Stardust Dragon, so he can protect his back row. He can protect his Necro Valley. So good on him for citing that card, except he can't special summon it now under Duality. Looks like he's on a lot of traps. How many traps? He sets 2. Okay. So he does have a reluctance to set more back rows, but I'm still going to respect Starlight Road and Heavy Storm. Or maybe I have to, so I'm not sure. All right, I set 3 here, and I pretty much match his set here. And it looks like I bricked. Looks like that set card might be a Kageki. I bottomless here. I don't think I had a bottomless. There's no point of bottomless here. But I bottomless it anyways, because the Kageki would have been able to stall out the guy here. But maybe I do this because I don't want him to priority tribute the recruiter with its descendant. He's going to MST my bluff Shein dojo. But that MST was always going to hit that card anyways, so it didn't matter whether I set it or not. So I'm hoping that I summon a monster here that I can... oh no, he's going to get the... oh shoot. So it looks like I have the Solemn Judgment, the Rite of Spirit here, so he can't press on and beat over my Kageki. So I think I saw him warning here, so that I could summon a tuner here that I can synchro summon with the Kageki. No, I guess that the Kagemusha was the one that was set. Okay. So I'm really hoping this synchro summon goes through. Otherwise, I'm screwed. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, I don't play Magatama in this deck for the reasons that I need Kizan on the board when I make the Shein. And it looks like I go into battle phase. Why did I do that? Oh, because he duality into a Solemn Judgment or a Solemn Warning, and he never set it. Oh, this was the game where he didn't set the warning, and he got off the duality. Okay. All right. Yeah, this was a really strange game for me because he duality for the warning, and he never set it. So that's why I didn't synchro summon. That makes a lot of sense. So I Veiler his Gale here. So yeah, this was a weird game for sure. Because if he had set the warning, this would have been a way different game, but he didn't set it. Okay. It says back row here. My monsters can beat over his monsters, but yeah, so I'm going to go into battle phase here. Attack over his Gale, and then attack directly for 1700. And the back row is a warning. Yeah, so this is where I try to get his life point lower than 2000 life points. Because I don't want him to resolve that card against me. So he sets the Veiler here. I top deck into a Mind Control, take his monster, and he just shows me his 2 warning. I don't know why he didn't set the warning before, but maybe he was afraid that I was gonna heavy storm him for like 4 or something. Because if he did set all 3 back rows, but he was already committed. There was no reason to do that. I don't know. That was weird. Yeah, so I guess he could have warninged. I never synchro summoned that game. I was basically a Kageki beatdown with Kizan. And I was pretty much willing away his life points. But yeah, I guess in hindsight, the bottomless was really good. The bottomless was really good because it got his monster off the board, and I was able to attack him directly. Because if the recruiter was going to sit on the board, then I was not going to make a synchro play because the duality was going to... I mean, the warning was just going to deal with my Shein. So yeah, I mean, you have to play these games where with 6 Samurais where you're playing the game where it's like the solemn warning prevention game. Because the way you play around the warning is to make sure that they don't have the life points to do the negation. So warning is a really good card against 6 Samurais, especially when you're going when 6 Samurai is forced to go second against the warning play. It's like impossible unless you have MST to deal with it. But yeah, that was a gameplay video against the Gravekeeper. My last gameplay video will be against Hero Beat, so stay tuned for that one. Alright, my last and final gameplay video for 6 Samurais versus Hero Beat. So let's see who wins this one out, and let's see what happens. So I think I win the die roll here. So I've been winning a lot of die rolls with 6 Samurai. The issue is that I can't pop off with this deck very consistently. So looks like I do a little test hand to see if I'm all good for games 2 and 3. I want to make sure that I get all the bad hands out of the way. So yeah, very reluctant to play this deck for this tournament. I don't know why I took it, but I took it anyways because, you know, why not? Like, can I make it? I really want to make Exterio. So, but against Hero Beat, I don't think Exterio is going to come down, especially since in game 2 and 3, where Super Poly is the thing. So it looks like I win the die roll, I think, and then I'm going to start the turn off. Hopefully I can make the first turn Legendary 6 Samurai Shein. So, yep, doesn't look like I draw it. Looks like I just drew a set and I pass here. And let's see what he does here. He's going to summon the Alias here, beat over my Rat, and then now I can special summon either my Elder or the Kagemusha. Looks like I'm going for the Kagemusha play here. And if I have the asceticism, then I'm able to deal with it. He does have 3 back rows, so it looks pretty daunting on me, what I might be able to do or not. Let's see if I have the heavy storm. Oh wait, I don't main deck heavy storm, right? If I had heavy storm, it would be good, but I don't need it. I'm gonna asceticism here, so I don't commit a normal summon. He's gonna activate Wing Blast, really strange card. Okay, and he's gonna be able to deal 2 for 2 with the monsters. Wing Blast is gonna deal with the Kagamusha, and he's gonna use the Catsith to blow up my Elder. I haven't normal summoned yet, so let's see what I do here. I MST the back row. Hopefully, I'm able to hit something, and I hit the compulsory. All right. So my Kageki is going to use the effect here to special summon. Let's see what I special summon. Maybe I already have a... No, I just special summon this guy. Okay, now I use... oh, it looks like I'm going to go for the double Keyzon play here, where my Keyzons are 2100 attack. I'm going to attack, and ignoring all the Mirror Force, and then he's going to Gemini Spark, which is good. And now I can do 3500 damage here. All right. Keyzons. What can I say? So it looks like I drew a really heavy monster hand. So... we go into this discrepancy about the replay rule, and yeah, so he's going to take 3500, and then we're going to pass. He's going to draw a monster and set it, so it looks like he main decks some Snowman Eater, I'd say. I don't know. If it's a Snowman Eater, I'm going to make the Xian, because the Xian can protect itself. And then he only has 1 back row, so I don't have to worry too much. It wasn't anything to worry about. I'm going to attack over the Sangan, so it looks like it was a Sangan. It looks like he plays the Tour Guide Heroes, so he's on Catsith Tour Guide Heroes. So he's finally going to take some 1800 damage here, and then he's going to be at 62, or no, 25, I'm sorry. So he's going to go to 2700 life points, never mind. Right, I forgot to attack him for 35. Okay, so 35, and then he's going to take another 800 somehow. He's going to go into a Leviathan Dragon, and then that's going to attack over my Keyzon. I'm going to take 700 life points here, and then he's going to set another back row. All right, so now I'm on the back foot again with his 2 back row. If I summon another monster, I can kill it. He's going to Hero Blast my guy. I think I'm not going to negate here. I think I have to negate because I want my Grand Mole. No, I let it resolve. Okay, because I have Master Reborn. Right. So I use my Master Reborn here to revive my Giant Rat so I can get my Grand Mole. This Grand Mole is going to body this Leviathan Dragon because this Grand Mole is going to bounce back the monster, and then my Xian can negate his last back row. He's going to draw into another back row. It looks like he has 3 cards in hand. Still, he's going to summon the Alias here. Hopefully he doesn't have Honest. He does not. He sets into the back row and he passes here. I draw for turn. I activate the Mind Control. He's going to Gemini Spark. I'm going to negate so he can't draw. I'm going to attack for 2500, and then that's game. All right. What a doozy of a game. It definitely looked like it was on the Hero Beat matchups advantage there to be able to resolve all those trap cards and then deal with my monsters. But lucky for me, I was able to clutch it out with the Giant Rat. This is why we play Giant Rat, because you can get the Grand Mole. The Grand Mole is going to be able to deal with the Leviathan Dragon. But I didn't even summon the Grand Mole because... No, I did summon the Grand Mole, right. So the Grand Mole just deals with all the nasty monsters that come out with Miracle Fusion, with Tour Guide, and all this such. So the Grand Mole definitely an underlooked card in today's form, or in not today's format, but in Tengu Plant, being able to deal with Gachi. In the Agent matchup, being able to deal with Leviathan Dragon and also the Agent matchup, but also other decks that play Tour Guide into Sangan into Leviathan Dragon. And then also being able to put back really strong monsters such as Hyperion and BLS, and then setting Bottomless Trap Hole or Black Horn of Heaven to follow that up to be able to negate their summons and then send them straight to the graveyard. So the Grand Mole was able to facilitate all this, and it's all thanks. I literally think that this is Grand Mole.deck. You know, this is not Xian.deck. This is Grand Mole.deck. Xian is like the facilitator of the Grand Mole strategy because he can negate all the spells and trap that deals with Grand Mole, such as Deprison and Compulsory. So I really think I'm playing a Grand Mole.deck. Strongly considering changing my thumbnail to put Grand Mole in that thumbnail because he's the real MVP of this deck. Anyways, he's going to summon the Tour Guide here into another Tour Guide. I think he drew into a Sangan again. So otherwise, Sangan's just correct to bring it out all single time. He's going to detach the Leviathan Dragon, and now he has a 2500 monster that I had to figure out how to beat over. Maybe I can make Gaia the Force of the Earth here because he doesn't have a back row here. I think I side into the Gores here too. So Gores is going to be able to deal with this board. Looks like I go into the Kageki, into the... Oh, it looks like I'm going to go into the Xian play where I sacrifice my Kageki. So this is a neg 1 play because if I crash, then I have to give up my Kageki to deal with this 1 tour guide. But my Machina is at least going to be able to negate here to hopefully get me back to a neutral. Looks like I have Gores in my hand to be able to deal with this monster. And he sets 2 here. So the Shien's really good in game 2 and 3 because he can't super poly me. So now he's going to set 2 back row. I'm reluctant to attack here, but I'm going to do it anyways. I'm going to flip over the double-edged sword technique to force out his Solemn Judgment, so that's good for me. So I don't have to fear his back row. So now he wastes half his life point. I'm going to activate Heavy Storm, and then taking out his Super Poly. And yeah, so if I had used Heavy Storm, maybe I could have got him to waste the Solemn Judgment, and then I could flip over the double-edged sword technique. Maybe that was a better order. Yeah, so it looks like he goes into the Gores here. I'm pretty screwed now. The Gores with the Gores token is actually going to be able to beat over my Shien here. I'm going to pass here, so the Gores is going to be definitely good here. So he did the play where he set 2 back rows with the Gores in hand. So I don't know. I feel like that's incorrect, but it was correct in this situation. So I guess it got me to think that there wasn't anything to worry about. So he's going to activate the Honest on the damage step to kill my guy, and I'm going to lose all my board here. And I'm going to bring up my own Gores for the clapback. This is why I side deck Gores, because in this position here, I need monsters to be able to deal with his monsters. And if I don't have monsters to deal with his monsters after he deals with my monsters like Shien, then it's a really downhill battle for me. Lucky for me, I do have a Stratos. I have a token with 1800 attack. I have a Gores that can trade with a lot of his monsters. And if I do draw out the Grand Mole, I can deal with his the Shining. So let's see what I do here. I do have the light point advantage. I do have the Kizan here. So the Kizan here is 1800 attack. I can attack over all his monsters. I'm going to crash. I'm going to attack over the monster. So now we're on simplified game state. So now I just have to top deck something, and he has a Demian. Unfortunate for me. So he's going to attack over the monster, and then he's going to attack me for 32. I'm at 1,000. I think I draw into Grand Mole here, and unfortunate for me, the Grand Mole is not going to deal with both the Endymion and the Crusader here. So we go to game 3, or game 2, sorry. Or is it game 2? I think I won the game first. No, I won the first game, sorry. So I won the first game. Now we're going to go into game 2 and 3. I'm going to side out the Iron Wall. I think Iron Wall is a mistake. It only stops Miracle Fusion. It doesn't stop anything else. It maybe stops D-Prison, but yeah, maybe D-Prison. Maybe Iron Wall stops D-Prison. I take out the Black Horn of Heaven because he's on Miracle Fusion. And I side in the Bottomless back in. So I think I value the Bottomless a little bit more than Iron Wall in this game because at least the Bottomless can deal with the Shining, and I don't have to deal with him dealing with the whole thing. So anyways, let's see what happens here. So I draw, and then I'm going to go first. Hopefully I'm able to install a Shien. If not, then it's going to be an uphill battle for me. You never make Naturi Beast here if you have the ability to because of Super Poly. So looks like I pass. Unfortunate for me. See, 6 Samurais, brick central, dude. But it looks like I do have the Elder in my hand. So if he does have a monster, I can at least special summon the Elder without contributing to a normal summon. It does look like I have the Sheen Smoke Signal and the Elder. So because Elder voices my normal summon, I'm unable to summon both of them, which is why I don't like 6 Samurai United because I can't summon both of them. So now I'm able to go second, and then my MST is going to hit something. Hopefully I'm going to hit the warning here. He's going to dust shoot me. Okay. So good dust shoot on him. So it looks like my MST hit the dust shoot, and he was able to chain it. Wow. Okay. Good save on him. Good save on the dust shoot. Unfortunately for him, I do have the Gateway, and I do have the Elder, and so I'm not too worried about that trade. So I'm going to special summon the Elder here. If he has anything, whatever. I get the counter here. So, and then I activate the Smoke Signal. And yeah, that save on the Dust Shoot was really good for him because if he had activated the Dust Shoot and took out my Elder, I would have been able to Smoke Signal and then MST the last back row. And then I never have to worry about it. So it looks like I search for the Grandmaster here. Plus summon the Grandmaster. And then now I can Synchro Summon into Shien here, giving me 4 counters. Let's see what he does here. He's really has. Oh, he could Super Poly. Okay. Oh, no, he doesn't have it. So he's going to pitch the hero. I'm going to negate. So I get a 2-for-1 here. I'm gonna search. So yeah, so my loss of 2-for-1 was already rejuvenated by his Wing Blast, being able to trade with Machine, and then also the yeah, wow, I did this really cool play. So even though I bricked, I was able to do this on the second turn. So I guess breaking is not so bad with samurais. Going second or going first. I'm sorry. I'm making the Utopia here. I'm gonna attack for 25, 25, 21, bring him down to a small total of 900. Okay. So if I had given the, let me see here, is that 900? 5,079. Yeah. So if I give him the boost, he would have gotten down to 400. So it wasn't lethal. I didn't miss lethal. So he's going to summon the alias here. I'm going to warning here because I don't want him to super poly my Grandmaster if he did top deck into it. So he's going to Dark Hole here. I'm going to negate. He has the Miracle Fusion. All right. So lucky for me, I do have the counter to run over the... if I summon a Samurai, I can run it over the Shining here. I'm going to negate with the Utopia. I'm going to detach my Kizan, not the Stratos, to give him targets. So all I have to do is summon a 6 Samurai monster to bump up my monster by 1,000. So yeah, this is good for me. Gateway's broken. So I'm going to bump up my Shein here to 3,000, and I'm going to attack over the 3,500, and then I'm going to attack over, and he does not have animals. Awesome. All right. So that was a gameplay video. I think Gateway was the huge reason why I was able to win this game, because I did neg on the MST, but he also plays Wing Blast in his deck because he is on Catsith heroes, so it makes sense that I was able to clutch out this game because Wing Blast is really bad against Shein, because even though I negate, if I negate with Shein, it's a 2-for-1, unless he discards Catsith, but it's still a 2-for-1 because he has to waste a Wing Blast and a Catsith to deal with one Shein. So yeah, that was the gameplay video with 6 Samurai. Hope you guys enjoyed the gameplay video. Unfortunately, I was unable to bring out the exterior for this whole entirety of the tournament, but in theory, I could definitely bring it out. And if I do bring it out, it's usually game ending for most matches. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the commentary video. I know it's pretty long, so just watch the gameplay videos where you want. I advise you guys just to watch the gameplay videos that you guys want. Don't watch all of it. All right, see you guys on the next video for my next Tengu Plant deck profile / gameplay video. Peace out.